Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we should look to the war up front. The Bills are top 10 in rushing yards, and they're going up against a Packers team that will need to keep the running game in check. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to have a third down. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to, but when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
On 4th down, Colton Schmidt to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Called out a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board. threw it.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll bring a tight end in motion. Throwing now is Rodgers. Flushed out right. And the Packers are in for the score. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Crosby on now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Again, it's McCoy. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Schmidt on to punt as he sends it away. This is brought in at the 21. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Packers get set to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand.
Let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
319.
On play action. Now Rodgers. It's caught. Nelson. And all the way down to the 29.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
They stopped them shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
Following the penalty, Montgomery He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Now Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a third down. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They go play action here on first down. They find some open field here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Second down, just 1 yard to go. Shift together here from the D-line. On second down, here's Taylor. And over the middle, it's LaFell. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They'll come up now with the clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the first. On second down, it's McCoy. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter play. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, Taylor. And some space here. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Let's go!
Now they'll throw with Taylor. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Taylor with a give to McCoy. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he'll be knocked down sideways. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
Let's go!
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This the most important of them all, 3rd and goal. And a give this time to the tailback. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And a big play there on 2nd down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On second down, here's Rodgers.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty. Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on third down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. Here's Rodgers to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a fourth down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On fourth down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Second down now after the incompletion.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Let's go.
To throw is Taylor. Throwing again. He's got the hook up to Andre Holmes. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Bills on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Taylor now to throw on third down, and that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And some room to work. Past the 20. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
319.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Now they send a man in motion right. Throwing is Rodgers. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
319! 319! Go, 319!
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Second and goal. Defense digging. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. They'll try and run it here. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Watch left. Stop right there. Here we go.
Taylor operating from the gun. It's caught. Left side, Brandon LaFell. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
That one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 3rd and 1, it's Taylor. And that's complete to LaFau. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Now Taylor on 1st down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.